Chaz, we are back for Barrel or
Next week,
Not. How you doing?
I'm more prepared for this. I'm going to have batteries charged and things fixed.
That is okay. By the way, somebody wrote in, this is not an official Barrel or Not, but they just wrote in and said, Barrel or Not, having intro music to a surf podcast in Southern California, with the intro music being jazzy outro music to a 70s sitcom about taxi cabs in New York City. Obviously a huge barrel. I would also accept the outro music from WKRP in Cincinnati. Work.
Oh yeah, love it.
That was Derek's contribution to the show, by the way.
Uh,
The intro and outro music. Okay, Chaz, barrel or non number one, posting on social media about your loss. And this, of course, is in relation to the Olympics, where you have these people, or any WSL event for that matter, where you have the loser of the event taking to Instagram and posting a gallery of photos going, hey, I lost today, but my chin is still up, on to the next one, kind of a thing.
yeah, no, I don't like it. I'm going to say no barrel unless you're retiring like Carissa Moore, and unless you are gracious and dignified like Carissa Moore. I want to see fire in the belly, man. I don't want you to celebrate that loss. I want you to put that loss deep in your guts, stew on it, turn it into some rage, some bitterness, some gall, probably later some cancer, but that's later. For the next year, it'll turn into victory.
I would be curious to hear what Cersei's take on this is as a um, professional guidance counselor, because honestly, I agree with you. I'm like, amplify your wins, but you minimize your losses. Like, I know you need content and you're supposed to be working the algorithm, but you could post something that day that has nothing to do with acknowledging the fact that you did not do what you were there to do.
Exactly. I mean, and I think that the people who are doing that, then it makes me think, okay, were you just happy to show up? I don't want to follow. I don't want to invest myself in athletes who are just happy to be invited.
I agree. Yeah, I'd say for Kanoa or whoever it is that does this, like, post a photo of you getting barreled, on that trip, and point at that point, because that's a success. You got in a sick wave on this trip. Do not acknowledge the loss, and nobody will acknowledge it in your, you know what I mean? Like,
Don't
so,
touch.
okay, barrel or not, wearing a watch with the face on the inside of your wrist.
Barrel David Lee Scales. I'm a big barrel on this one. Big barrel. If that's your steez, then have at it. Mine will accidentally flip around that way often, and I just leave it there for a minute. And then, yeah, there's the dude, especially the older dude who does this. Typically, the older dude in a nice dress shirt who has his watch strapped really tight to his wrist, face side in. I always look at that dude and say, that dude is a weirdo, but good on him.
See, I'm going no barrel. Do not strap your Veyer watch.com/surf splendor or any other type that way. I understand what you're saying. If the Steez is the loose watch and it slides around, that's one thing. But there is no Steez that is the internal tight facing watch. It's also awkward to even look that way. It's weird.
And I mean, I like the dude who flips the wrist in though. I mean, give it a go. Give it, and I, dear listener, also give it a couple weeks. Give it a week of inside watch wearing and see how you feel at the end of it.
I think your life goes to crap in that week. Everything starts to fall apart. You mean? Okay,
Maybe.
final barrel or not. Final barrel or not. Doing a massive flyaway kick out. This is one of the first things that I did in surfing that made me feel really awesome, but actually was probably super lame. But Gabe and cover shots have been posted of flyaway kickouts, but then they kind of got called out during the video era where people identified, hey, that guy didn't actually land that trick. That was only for the photograph. And yet it is back with force, thanks to Gabriel Medina this week at the Olympics.
I love Jimmy Kane Wilson. I do. It was on X. Now that I am not on Instagram, I get to see what people are saying on X. Jimmy Kane Wilson came on, famous surf photographer, wonderful guy. Said something about, can we stop with the flyaway airs now? Like photos of the flyaways. Like, Jimmy Kane is a real purist, and so I want to say, so I'm going to say no barrel on snapping a photo of a pro doing a flyaway. I'm going to say all day barrel every day. If you've got enough speed on a wave that you are surfing that you can do a big boosty kick out, man, you enjoy that thing, because that's as rare for you or I as almost any surf move to have enough speed on a wave where you can like boost at the end, like really get up there, or like pull the leash taut. Like, how many times do you have enough speed to do that?
Well, I don't know how many times I do, but I can guarantee it's the only thing that I can do with that level of speed because there is no
Yeah.
chance I'm projecting into the wave or trying to like smash the lip with that amount of speed. So the only opportunity I have is flying off the back of the wave and trying to have fun.
Yeah, exactly. But it really is fun. I mean, you were like flying there for a minute. You were flying on the wave. And the only, I will say, the only downside to it is exactly you are right, is when you land on the water and say, wasn't that fun? And then you think, oh, what does a real surfer do? Oh, I guess they like somehow pack that speed and smash the lip.
I know. And the other thing is the wave other than at Chopu where it's sea level at the back of the wave, all other waves go down. So wherever you hit the lip and project out, there's another 3 feet below you that you didn't anticipate. So you're just like flapping your arms
Yeah, it's
because
funny.
you're higher than you thought that you would have been. It is the most fun thing to do. I am fully supporting it,
So
but I agree
fun.
with
It
Jimmy
is so
Kane. And
fun.
I agree with Jimmy Kane in that like it should not be sold as somebody who landed a trick or did a cool trick. And that's what's surprising to me about the Gabriel Medina image is obviously it's a badass image. But it's shocking that that it wasn't one of him standing in a death pit that ended up going viral.
I don't know, but that one, there was something real mad. Not only that, does it look like he's walking, that on the clouds and all that, like every bit of it. It's when you zoom in on his face, he is so stinking handsome. And his one finger ray, everything is like pure poise in that moment. Like, so that is, Gabriel Medina does pack huge barrels, right? He does all the stuff with a lot of poise. That poise is on display there. I feel that's what made that thing go viral, is not that, oh, well, like all the little things I think are part of it, but it's the poise on his face and with that one raised finger, totally relaxed body.
Yeah, to me, it is him standing on the podium with a gold medal. You know, he's
Yeah,
got his number one finger up. It's literally the facial expression, his body posture, his finger up is him standing on the podium. And that is the claim. It's like I already am, I've projected that I'm winning the gold medal.
he's fully got this one. Brazil, guess what? All your whinging, Gabe was going to win it no matter what.
I'm betting on Kayuli Vost snatching it from him in the finals and taking it for France, just as I predicted last week.
Did you hear the little sneaky? It should have got written on Beach Crib, but didn't. Of Griffin Colapinto talking after his loss to Cowley Vost, how it's really hard because basically insinuated that everybody in the channel is whistling and like telling Cowley where to sit and stuff. Everybody on the skis are like giving him the local knowledge where Griffin wasn't complaining. He ain't no Brazilian. So he just took it on the chin. But he said it's like really hard when you're against him out there because, it's some true local advantage. Like everybody wants him to
Yeah,
win. And so they're, speaking in whistle code of wave coming, etc.
interesting. And I think that he should have used that to his own advantage when he was at lowers fighting for a world title last year.
That's
Griff.
what I'm saying. I'm going to be there on the cobbled stone, Griff, whistling for you. Hey, Griff, there's a really good one out the back. Griff, set, Griff.